All right, hey guys, I wanted to talk about this. Coach Edwards here from Lacrosse Goalie University.com. Uh, People are losing their minds over this Sam Shafer save that Loyola made from Loyola that he made in the last like 10 seconds of the game to beat Denver. Denver's trying to send it to overtime and they get a chance to, to tie it up. Well, I'll play it for you and then we'll take it from there, shall we? Let's go. So we're gonna start back here and press play. Here we go. Watch this. Ball's number 3, top center or like on the sideline there.
Denver's got it with 10 seconds left. Down a goal. Trying to force overtime. Hannah gave it up. Denied. Simmons cannot score.
All right. So what'd you think? So people are losing their mind over this save, the save. But this is where I want my goalies and my families to take it up a notch, okay? To understand the bigger picture. I'm going to be a little clear on a couple things. I'm a little fired up on a couple other topics right now. One is in a Syracuse game, the goalie goes in and out on a clear against Georgetown. And I can't tell you how much that infuriates me because, for a lot of you watching this, you got younger goalies, you got high school goalies. I've got a lot of college goalies that watch this, but for a lot of you, a lot of parents, you got younger goalies. And here's the thing. I believe we still haven't seen the best goalies to play this position. Why? Because we get stupid mistakes like the Syracuse goalie made. Okay, that's something you teach a kid in junior high, right? And we're seeing this at the Division I national championship level. There's no excuse, none. So when I see those types of mistakes, it just reinforces my belief that your goalie is not looking to be like that goalie. Your goalie is looking to be a higher level that we haven't seen yet, that this sport really deserves. Okay. So in this particular play with Sam Shafer, everybody's losing their mind over the save. But I'm going to show you some things here that actually, this goalie is incredibly lucky, right? Incredibly lucky. So I'll pull this through. So ball's coming down top right. So as a goalie, it's weird here. This is a little bit of a break, but they have plenty of players to defend here, right? It's basically a 2-on-3 with Denver coming down side right. So number 3 has the ball. Number 9 is now side right. This shooter, I would want this shot as the goalie, right? So one of the things that I tell my goalies, and one of the things that just drives me crazy about lacrosse in general, is that coaches don't teach this well enough. We want this outside shot from about 17 yards, 15 yards, whatever. We don't want the shot that they give up, right? So the primary mistake here, or the first mistake, is how the D plays this. And it all starts right here with this defender, this midi, right? This midi number 8 here, actually messing this up, okay? Right, so he needs to keep this player there, right? So the first mistake here is that he doesn't do that, and the number 3 rolls him. It comes inside. Now this is a little bit more trouble. So where we had no trouble with 8.7 seconds left, now we have a little bit of trouble here with 7.8 seconds left, right? But we're still good. Now we got a long pull on him, and the second mistake here is that with this defender, okay, this defender is ball watching, and really, with 7 seconds left to go in the game, this defender should realize that we've got two players in the ball here, so he has to be more concerned about this player, right? This player, not this player. Okay, so this is where coaches do a horrible job teaching defenders to listen to their goalie, to understand, this is basically a 1-on-2. We have to assume that with a short stick and a long pole, that we're going to be able to neutralize this ball carrier here. Okay, and so 51, right, should be realizing that he's not going to slide. Okay, so this to me is accumulation of bad goalie communication, which is ironic because the head coach of Loyola is a goalie, was a phenomenal goalie back when he played, right? but it shows me how that we've, as a sport, it's deteriorated to this point where this can actually be allowed to happen. All right, it's no longer a focus, and that drives me crazy. Okay, so as we play this through, all right, now number 3, 51, right there gets all twisted up. So it's at this moment I'm watching this defender here, right? He's all twisted up, all right, and it's just enough because it's just enough. He takes this one little step right there to think that he may slide, but that delays him enough to get back to the ball. Okay, ball comes through. He misses the pickoff. All right, 3 comes across. Now let's talk about this now from the goalie play. So I believe that the lacrosse goalie of the future will switch hands. Okay, so Sam Shafer in this case is a lefty goalie. He's on his right post. His right foot's on the right post. The stick is in the left hand. That gives a goalie not an advantage, but a better chance, I think, to make a save with a player coming across the crease. Okay, so if this is a righty goalie, I believe that the lacrosse goalie of the future will, if it's a righty goalie, they will actually switch hands here to play this left-handed. All right, and that's going to come into play in a second here, and I'll explain. Goalie comes across, but the momentum is such that, so the goalie right here is stationary. See him set his feet? He sets. He goes from splayed to set. Now, as what you got to be aware of here, as both the goalie but also as the shooter, is that there is a lot of space in front of the cage here, right? There's plenty of room for this attackman to have dove across the crease and scored. And what I'll show you here is that as the attackman comes across, he fakes high, right? So right there, he just faked. He faked. Now, the good news is that he still held on to the ball. Most shooters are taught fake high, shoot low. And the reason being is because when they fake high, the goalie comes up, right? So see how the goalie, what's happened here is that the goalie has gone vertical. This is why I don't like jumping rope. This is why I don't like any drills that reinforce vertical motions in goalies, because in this particular play, the goalie needs to come across the crease. Okay? Needs to come across the crease. Because if they go up right here, now all number 9 had to do is keep coming across the cage, because there was nobody who was going to hit him. He could have dove. He could have done whatever. Nothing. Right? But instead, he faked high, and he shot high. All right? Now, because this goalie actually made a mistake, it ended up helping the goalie make a save. So for your goalie, I want you to understand what's really happening here. It wasn't about the goalie making a save. It was about the shooter making a mistake and a goalie making a mistake, and that cost Denver the win. It wasn't that the goalie saved the day. It was that the attackman shot the ball into a goalie, right? Now, all this attackman you do, fake high, right there, the goalie's toast, right? As a goalie, if you go too vertical, you and your weight goes up, now you have no chance to go across. And you see it. You can see it as 9 keeps coming, right? The goalie hasn't moved. He could have faked him again. Right, he could have faked him again, but instead he tried to go. What the shooter tried to do was he faked, but then he tried to go back top corner to the off stick side of the goalie, which is a huge mistake, right? So that was a massive mistake, and he ends up shooting it right into the goalie. Okay, or the goalie gets, yeah, it's right in the goalie's shoulder. Right? Can you see that? Right. So this was not about a goalie making a great save. This was about an attackman making a mess of it and then actually shooting it into a goalie who made the wrong move, right? So this was, I don't want your goalie to go, yeah, wow, wasn't that amazing? I love Sam Shafer. I want to play like him all day. Now listen, Sam Shafer, if you ever see this video, with all due respect, right? You got tremendously lucky there. All right. You didn't necessarily this was not some strategic plan. This is a lot of luck, and that's fine, but we don't coach for luck. Right? We coach the goalie of the future to be ready. And so in this particular case, this to me, not to take anything away from Sam, great job. You guys are into the next round. I love it. But this is more on the Denver attackman making a massive mistake as a shooter, right? than as a goalie coming up, you know, and saving the day. Again, Sam, appreciate it. If you ever see this, love what you do, love the way you play, but you know you got really lucky here, and we know that that number 9 really made a massive mistake. So I don't want people losing their mind over this save because there's a lot of bad things that happened here, right? There's a lot of bad things that happened here from a goalie's perspective, and I don't want your goalie doing that in the future. All right, guys, take care. If you got any questions, leave me a comment below. If you want to leave a nasty comment, go ahead. I really don't care. I love all the comments, but if you understand what I mean here, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you again. All right, cheers.